So today we're gonna be cleaning this car up, getting it ready to be listed for sale. So first I'm gonna start with scraping off the overspray from painting that got onto the windows. So let me take my razor blade and do that real quick. Alright, so see little marks like this where white paint got on. All I take is a razor blade, I got gloves so I don't cut myself, and it comes off no problem. So that's why you see some YouTubers don't even worry about masking off their windows when they're doing a budget build, because it scrapes off easy, or if you use like a paint thinner, it comes off even easier. So it's really no big deal to get paint on automotive windows. Alright, so all the mirrors, windows, they're all I took the razor blade to all of them, got all the overspray off, so now they feel nice and normal. Windshield too. And then I found this in the pile of parts in this car in the trunk somewhere. So I found some bolts. It's hard to see, but I found the right bolts for it in the pile of parts. And so now we have two sun visor things. Alright, so next up is we gotta cover this fuse area. I have the cover for it, so I gotta cut that wire or drill into something so it's able to close. And then I want to fix this because I found the part for that. I just gotta open the hole up a little to fit the cigarette lighter in there. Alright, so I got the fuse cover mounted on. So all the tabs are broke, of course. There's no upper dash really to secure it to, so it's just kind of sitting there. I went for a drive and it didn't go anywhere, so should be good. I got the wire ran out here and covered in black electrical tape. Like honestly, if you don't know what you're looking for, you won't even be able to tell that there's a wire I ran there. So now we're gonna try to make the cigarette lighter fit into the mount that's actually supposed to be there, the factory one. I got the shifter area uncovered. So this is the cigarette lighter that I bought and put in here, and then tapped into this orange factory wire that gives it constant 12 volts. So I'm going to need to cut it where I connected them before. First I'm going to disconnect the battery just to be safe. So let me disconnect the battery, cut this, and then see what we're working with. Alright, I peeled off the old cardboard bracket mounting thing that I put together, and I popped this in. So, of course, this has these two tabs on the top. It's supposed to have them on the bottom, but they're broke off. So I gotta see if there's a way that I can secure this better, because that's pretty flimsy. Like, I'm thinking double-sided tape on the bottom, and that should be enough, because the double-sided tape on the cardboard was plenty strong. It took a little fight to get it off. But now we gotta figure out how to get this hole bigger to fit this inside. And I'm almost wondering if I'll just cut the wire and then feed this in through the hole. Let me try something, you'll see. Okay, so I ended up having to cut off the ends of this because the fuse wouldn't fit inside the hole. And in here, it's too big to just slip on. It's like the exact size of this outer layer. So I'm gonna try to take a razor blade. It's only plastic, so maybe I can just cut this inner circle out. Maybe that'll be enough room. If not, I'll have to drill it or buy a tap. Okay, so I used the drill. Got my drill here, and I ended up putting holes all around, and then just like kind of running it through the side and just leveling it out. I used the razor blade to make it as smooth as I could in this circle area. So it's a tiny bit too big for it to like just clear and sit inside of these things right here. So I think I'm gonna wrap a layer of tape around this so I can just put it on and it will be good. So it could be solid still. So I'm gonna mount it up before I do all that and get the wiring back together. So I can push it in and no problem. So my only problem is there's no mounts for the bottom, so I gotta find some double-sided tape, because right now if I pull it out, it's all gonna come apart. So here's what it looks like. You can see the tape right here. It's not as visible in person. The camera makes it stick out like a sore thumb. So I don't know about that. I might cover it, the border, with electrical tape like I did with the other one, because it didn't look too bad. And it was like another layer of protection. But I'll plug this in, plug it out, didn't even budge. So the tape's doing its job. I don't know how long it will. It's one of those things. So having the bracket mount over here closer so you don't see it sticking out proved to be a little too hard. Because this is all the same shape. There's nothing that's thicker to hold it into place or like lock into a groove. So the plastic markings over here, they were a perfect groove. So this is good. This is not going anywhere. I got this all taped up again. I just ran out of electrical tape. So I gotta finish this strand and then tape up the wires when I rewire it back together. Okay, so it's a new day now. It gets darker at like 4, so I ran out of daylight. But here we go. The wiring's all back together. We got the ground here. Just gotta put this little cap on. I saw these caps are going for sale for like $4. I don't know why anyone would buy them. They're not necessary. But now let's go find the next thing that we're gonna clean up on this car. So like you should do every time before you sell a car, go through it and just keep the stuff that you want to keep, throw out the stuff you don't want to keep. You want to make it look nice. So I got some stuff in the console, that cubby area, and then there was a big mess in here when I got the car. I haven't gone through it, so now I'm gonna go through it and clean up so it looks nice. Alright, this is all vacuum now. I'm gonna leave this for whoever gets the car. That little jack handle, that's what the guy used to prop up the hood when I bought the car, and I don't have a use for it, so they can have it. There's some bolts I found back here. They're probably for something in this car, let's be real. So that looks good. I took out the seat. Now I'm gonna vacuum all in here. Get back here to these seats. I'm gonna take out the driver's seat, do the same. You can see there's a wire right here. This is the ground for my starter. That's the thing that was running off the theft deterrent relay. So I'm gonna solder that into a wire. That way I don't have to run it into the seat anymore, the seat bolt. So I'll tuck it back behind here where all these wires are, and that should be good. So let's go do all this. So I don't know if this was hidden before or I just completely missed it, but the orange and black wires, I believe those are for the trunk release. If I'm just taking a guess without looking at any schematics or anything, I think that's the trunk release. But black is usually universal code for ground. I don't have my good multimeter that can test continuity from this to chassis ground, so I just took a guess. This is the theft deterrent relay bypass. This is the ground for the starter, basically. Hooked it in there and it worked. Car starts up, no problem. So I'm gonna shorten this wire, make it all nice, solder it, and then tuck it back behind here and you'll never see it again. Alright, this side is done. Now let's go do the other side. I gotta take out that seat, vacuum the whole area, and then cleaning will be done for the most part. The Camaro's all clean on the inside. Now I just gotta wash the outside. The sun's in a terrible spot. It's hard to see, but it's crazy how far this car's come along. Now I'll be putting the factory steering wheel back in. I'll probably do it today. I just hate to because the wheel feels so cool. But I'll have to put the factory one on to sell it. So now let me wash it and get it looking good on the outside too. Almost forgot. I need to find a way to mount the fender because it's kind of loose. So the mount on the bottom, as you know with these cars, right on the pinch weld, people jack it up, but you really shouldn't. If you can see, there's this. So I had the bolt, but it's just so messed up that it just tore through the hole in the plastic fender. So I'm probably just gonna zip tie, drill through. There's a fuel line right there, so I gotta be careful. But I'll just zip tie this, and we should be good. All right, zip tied up. That left some slack. You can tell it's not moving at all. I left a little slack, so when I open it, it doesn't crush the fender again. It's all good. Now let's give this a wash on the outside. The Camaro is all washed and clean. So I think now I'm gonna put the steering wheel back in because it's about time to list it for sale. So let's go put in that factory steering wheel. Recently I picked up a couple of power tools from Harbor Freight. It makes life so much easier. But we got the nut off, and then this just popped off, no problem. Didn't even need the steering wheel puller tool. That's what happens when you pull your steering wheel out less than a week ago. So now let me go reassemble everything I did before. Steering wheel's back on. This Camaro is ready to go to a new home. It's been nice having it. I've had it on quite a bit of a journey. It's come a long way. I'm pretty confident whoever gets this car, it's a solid car. It's a lot of fun. I'm just ready for something new. If you've seen it already, we got this red Camaro Z28 here. It's a 96. So this is going to be the next project on the channel.